Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking, and today we're here to talk about the Secret Lair Shockland drop, along with a few other secret layers that are coming out. And I touched a little bit on this in some previous videos when all this stuff was leaked, so let's go see how right I was. It looks like the Secret Lair is going to be started around 9 a.m. April 16th, about a day and a half away. This is some dumb thing they're doing. So to start off with, all these have been leaked. So it looks like I said, they're not going to give them to you all in one bundle. You have to buy them individually, which is terrible because you may not even get, you may not even get the ones that you want. What I found out is some of these have overlap. So for example, we have Culture Shock, which is the Bant one, where you get all the Bant lands. You get Hollow Fountain, Breeding Pool, and Temple Garden. So if you come down here, you can see where these art cards are for specific areas of the world or other things like this is Theros for Cometra and all that good job. This is Gataxia, uh, Valor's Reach here. So this particular set here you can see is 29.99 American. Um, More in other areas. That does not include tax. So, like I mentioned with you guys, the Shocklands have been printed so much. I mean, they are 10 to 20 bucks a piece, but depending on which ones you get, how many you get, so forth and so on, especially buying this with tax, you might as well just go out and buy the regular Shocklands because these do not come in a foil option. There's no foil option for this. These are all just basic lands with different symbols. It's basically Wizards, as always, trying to sell directly to the secondary market and make money and cut out the local LGS. I highly support going to your local LGS or vendors online um, who support the secondary market way before Wizards wanted to get their greedy little hands into it. But with that said, let's actually review this with a positive scope and see what kind of value is in each one of these. So I've got my little deck building tool here pulled up with the prices of all the cards. So for the Bant ones, on here, it's showing Hollowed Fountain at $7, $7.85. Breeding Pool is 21. Temple Garden is 10.85. So 31. Basically, I would say $40 for these three. You get them for 29, but remember that does not include your tax. So after tax, you're going to be around 35. You'll be real close to just buying the regular ones, guys. If you just went to your local game store and helped support those guys. So keep that in mind. So then we have Culture Shock, Esper, and here you'll notice also Hollow Fountain is in here again. Hollow Fountain is in Bant, so you're going to get doubled up on some of them, which means you're not getting all the value. And the reason I say that is because I think there's 6 or 7 or more drops, each one only having 3 lands, so it doesn't add up to 10 because there's only 10 shock lands. But anyway, so like we said before, the Hollow Fountain is $7. The Godless Shrine is $8, and the Watery Grave is 10. So this one is literally only worth $25, and they're selling it for 29. So you actually lose money if you buy this, unless you just really like the art that much. But with that said, this is another one that's actually worth more. Um, and this is whatever. I mean, it's the Second Sun thing. You know, it tells you about where they're from, Amonkhet, Ixalan, so forth. This is kind of cool. But once again, this one is not worth $29 plus tax and shipping. So, Culture Shock Grixis. You notice again, Watery Grave is here. Watery Grave's also up here. It's one of the lower price cards. So, like we talked about, Watery Grave's $10. Steam Vents is $10, and Blood Crypt is 19. So 10, 10. So once again, max about $40 value. Again, $29.99 for the same price. So all these are going to have different values depending on which one you get. So, but once again, this is still going to be around $35 or so plus tax and shipping. So you're going to be paying just exactly, getting exactly your money's worth, not really saving anything. Then here in Jund, once again, Blood Crypt's in this one. So, you know, Blood Crypt is 20. Overgrown Tomb is 11, and Stomping Ground is a sad 8. So this is again another $40 box. It looks like it's going for $29.99. Once again, not much different here to talk about. Here's Naya. So we've already talked about Stomping Ground is 8. Temple Garden, which is another set, is 10, so that's 18, and the Sacred Foundry is 12, that's 30. So after tax and everything, this being the same price, you're going to lose money compared to just buying at your local LGS. So, and then they have this here, which is full text lands, which is just a meme. However, I find this hilariously funny. And to be honest, if these were in foil, I would probably buy them for my blinged out decks just because this is hilarious. Now, the sad part about this, just to get 5 of these in non-foil is once again $30 for basic land. So you're basically paying you're paying $5 a card for these. That's way too much. I mean, these lands should be $1, maybe $2. I mean, it's not like they're even. I mean, they're not like all art with no text, so you can see all picture. It's just, yeah. And then for non-foil for this many, it's 40, which is almost $10 a card. I mean, yeah, it'd be cool to have these blinged out in your decks, but sweet Jesus, guys, really? Like this kind of money? Um, it's a good meme, but way too overpriced. Way too overpriced. Then moving on, we have what looks like it's kind of a banner style, old school horror movie style of cards. We have Nature's Lore, Wrath of God, Preordained, Decree of Pain, and Gamble. These are all hand drawn. To be honest, though, like I'm not a fan of any of this. Like I'm just not digging this at all. I mean, not even Wrath of God. Like it's Wrath of God. Why is there like supposed to be what's evil people behind there when God's supposed to be wrathing the world? So I mean, I do like how they have, right here it says sorcery, destroy all creatures that can't be regenerated. Scry 2, draw a card. I like how they blended the text into these pictures like this, but the pictures themselves, I'm just not a fan. Now, if this is your thing, more power to you. Have at it. Go buy you a couple, one. But once again, if you're going to do a playset of 4, I mean, we're talking 40, $30 a pop, so a playset of 4 is 120. You really want to pay $120 to have 4 of these cards that don't really connect because, this is white, this is green, this is red, this is black, this is blue. So, and the aftermarket for these cards aren't very high, guys. Just going to be honest with you. At least the demand isn't either. So, and then we talked about this before. We've already had a little thing on this. This is the Strixhaven Showcase secret drop that they also spoiled all this on Magic Online because they don't know how to run their job correctly and keep their stuff out of the paper. Um, so of course we have the old school Fire Covenant. I do like this picture. Fractured Identity. Not a real big fan. Fracturing Gust is pretty. I do like the little swirlness and how it's done this. All is Dust. Eh. I kind of think the other one looks better, maybe. I mean, unless you're kind of into this kind of art, just in general, is all for your whole deck. Artifact Mutation. I just don't get this card picture. I don't understand it. Drown the Lock. I think this is pretty sweet. It shows them drowning somebody trying to get a sword. They're mermaids. Like this is on point. Whoever it was that drew this just was on point with this one. But once again, $30, 40 for foils, and you can't put more than one of these into one deck, probably. I mean, maybe you could if you really stretched it for like Commander, EDH style one of decks, but yeah, I still think it's a lot, especially if you want to get in foil. And the big thing about all these cards in foil is that if they bend like Pringles, like every other foil they release do, you really want to spend $40 on a bunch of cards that you won't eventually not be able to play because they just bend so much. It's really sad. And then here we have the Super Shock bundle. Uh, So the contents of the Super Shock bundle is you get one of all 5. Now, mind you, there's only 10, so by doing 3 of each, it's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Makes no sense. But anyway, the Super Shock bundle gets you one of each for $120. Now, with that said, the total price of all the lands themselves is around $125. But you do get double ups of some of the lands, so you might get around $140, $150 worth of value. But after tax and shipping, you're really breaking even, guys. Once again, you could get the same things at your local LGS and support your local players and keep that local game scene going so you have some place to play other than just with your friends, and keep the competitive scene open too. Like, and just the scene in general, guys. I just, this isn't a value. They aren't making anything cheaper. They're just kind of racking in on the secondary market, just trying to make more money than what they already do just by printing cardboard to begin with. So once again, I don't like the secret layers. I don't see the point of this other than them just trying to be greedy and just trying to get money in their pockets. And then there's this one for the text lands. So you can get 10 times of the full text lands, which is 10 of each, which would be sweet to start your deck, but some decks run more than 10. But even at that, 10 of each of these, $240, not counting tax and shipping. This is ridiculous, guys. I mean, come on. And for the foil version, 319. I mean, there you could buy whole standard and maybe even half of a modern deck for these kind of prices right now. Like, it's just ridiculous. So, and then the main event bundle, which is all these pictures here, where you get one of everything, is also $250, which, eh. And you get a Magic Arena redemption code for single-use code for themed sleeves, and that is it. That's your special bonus for dropping $300 on this stuff. They give you a cosmetic item. Woo boy, let me go out and buy this. So then also here, the other thing that they're giving out, it looks like, is an Bound Ravager. But only to the first 1,000 customers who place an order during the super drop. So, for you guys who didn't know, yes, this is a cool Bound Ravager. B, this is already out on the market and it's not very expensive. Maybe 10, $20 at most, probably more around 10 or less, because this was a Magic Fest promo. Like, this is everywhere. This is not them being nice. It's them saying, hey, let's just reprint something we already got and just be done with it. So, it looks like that's it. Bring home the wonderment, and more like bring home bad financial decisions and give somebody else your money. All in all, guys, like, if this is something you're into, by all stretch of the imagination, you're welcome to buy anything you want and spend your money how you like. But as far as this being a value or something, like $400 or $500, you're better off buying sealed boxes and putting them in your closet, or at the rate they're going right now, even opening them, because these are just older cards that aren't in standard. They're just reprints. Like, to me, guys, this is just a money grab because they're not doing events anymore. I think they're trying to get away from doing events, like, because this money grab seems to do better. They've already talked about doing subscription fees so you can get special secret layers. Like, they're just making it really bad for everybody, guys. So with that said, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this little quick thing of all the super drops that have been leaked and spoiled. We talked a little bit about it and kind of gave you guys some ideas. Like, once again, as I said, they're basically, these lands are $10 a piece. After shipping and taxes, you're not going to make any money. These are not going to be able to be resold for anything really, because these are what they are, and the value is this. Basically, divide the 5 cards up by this. That's how much money is going to be in this box. Some cards will be worth more than others, so forth and so on, just because how they are and if they're played. And most of all this stuff, none of this is in Modern. It's all in Legacy, or EDH or Commander. So with that said, guys, as always, be smart, play smart, spend your money the right way. Try not to let this game bankrupt you, because it is a game and it should be fun. And don't play into those kind of styles of loot box, promo items, if you pay to win kind of things, like I think this is kind of developing into. As always, support your local LGS and dealers. If you don't support me on eBay or your local LGS, support somebody else's. Go down the street, go a different town, go see what it's like, check out the environment, meet the guys in the stores. The guys are normally almost always really nice. Have a good time, buy a couple cards for your deck that you know you need, spread the love, and as always, guys, until next time, be kind. This is your captain speaking, and I'll see you next time.